How many of you out there will absolutely trust what your doctors prescribe to you? Did you ever think to ask whether or not the drug you're given is actually good for you? And how do you know that your doctor actually has your best interests at heart? Usually you, the patient or the person prescribed the drug, will take the recommended medicine without a grain of salt. But why?
It's because we always expect our doctors to know better than us when it comes to our health. They're professionals with a PhD for a reason, so of course you would think the doctors know everything needed to take care of you. The pharmaceutical industry, the people and businesses in charge of making the drugs for you, is run by money. Would you want to be diagnosed by someone that's just after money?
You're probably thinking, of course my doctors know best. That's what they're there for. So that can't be true. But how do you actually know? Many times in doctors' offices there will be pharmaceutical representatives there, people who are hired by big money to influence your doctor. They come to your doctor and tell them about the new drug they want to sell.
But because doctors are always running on tight schedules, they don't have the time to sit down and talk to these representatives at length, which means they will take the word of the representatives in order to save time. This doesn't make your doctor a bad person, so don't blame them for the industry. You should instead focus on how the industry they work under is striving to make you, the public, customers, instead of valued patients through selling these drugs.
Think about the last time you visited the doctor's office. Did you notice the different kinds of posters there are on the walls? Or did you notice that your doctor may have prescribed or mentioned to you a specific brand name drug? It could be possible that your doctor has been directly affected by a pharmaceutical representative. Drugs such as Prilosec, Nexium, and Viagra are all prescription drugs made by these companies who would rather make you returning customers rather than healthy patients.
Well, how do they do it, you may ask? They manage to convince you in different ways. They can do it through your doctors by having them prescribe or suggest you their brand name drug from the represented company. Because it's your personal doctor, of course you want to take their word.
And you may not notice, but they can also do it through television. Don't you want to ask why certain drugs have commercials even though they should already have enough publicity because it's a greatly needed drug? There's a good chance that these commercials are funded by the companies that go and convince doctors to prescribe these to you.
There's a reason why the phrase, "ask your doctor if this drug is right for you," sounds so familiar. It means that these companies have already reached out to enough doctors and patients to gain enough profit. Recognizable companies like AstraZeneca and Pfizer have made millions by telling you and your doctor to use these drugs. But they have proven to only treat or suppress the symptoms, not solve the actual problem. Suppressing the symptoms does not mean that you're cured.
Companies look for this cycle. They only temporarily fix the problem, so when the symptoms come back, you'll buy more of their drugs. So how do we get out of this hole? We're common people who don't have extensive medical knowledge, unlike our doctors. What are we, the public masses, supposed to do about it?
We want you to do what it takes to start decreasing the power this industry has over us and our doctors. And it can start simply by doing your own research. Many times when we have a health issue, we just take it to the doctors to diagnose us, but that's not enough. Sure, you can still go consult a doctor, but it shouldn't end there.
For example, let's take a health issue that a lot of us can relate to, heartburn. Sometimes heartburn can be caused by too much acid in the stomach, so medicines like Prilosec will decrease some of it. But that is all that the drug will do. What happens if doctors prescribe this drug to a patient who actually isn't producing enough acid in their stomach?
Decreases in stomach acid leads to heartburn problems, but taking the prescribed name brand drug, the drug that's supposed to help you, may actually do more damage to your body in this case. That's why being wary of some of these brands' prescribed drugs is reasonable. These drugs are being prescribed to you through the industry under the guise of your trusted doctor.
Wouldn't that make you want to take some action into your own hands? These companies are willing to do whatever it takes to get more money out of you, the unsuspecting patients who wanted nothing more than just to live a healthy life. So we get back to one of the main points of this video, doing your own research. For most of us, finding a computer with a search engine is only a few resources away. There's nothing stopping us from figuring out our own bodies.
So now, we think about where to go if we want to do this kind of research. For those of you who already do your research, you should listen too. When you type down your symptoms, you receive thousands of different websites that could possibly help, but it's a matter of finding the right ones to help.
Websites like WebMD and MedHelp are run by pro-profit corporations. It is unfortunate because many of us will turn to those sources and find information we don't need or mistakenly apply the wrong facts. Even at the bottom of WebMD's page, It claims that it does not provide any medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment, yet hundreds of people look to them for exactly that information.
Because of these sponsorships, we receive biased information as well. It would be much better to look to websites such as Mayo Clinic's site for better general information on your health problem. You could even go to look to pages from NPR for better information.
So think about it. For years already, the pharmaceutical industry has been running their businesses at the expense of your health.
You should do what it takes to make change because it's your health on the line.
Take matters into your own hands and do some research before wholeheartedly trusting your doctor.
Don't let profit and big money be the ones to decide your health.